Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Shawn T from Wrestling Revolver and Forbidden Door Collectibles, and I'm drinking at Moe's.
This is Drinkin at Moe's, where we talk about the pros of pro wrestling in the Midwest while sipping on some brews with blessed beers and wrestling. That's my scene. Death matches and lucha libre, it's all so mean. I'm a straight up smart goofball, not no kiss ass. I stand tall when it comes to wrestling. I'm the king. I know every move, every fling. Get ready for a wild time with Drinkin at Moe's, where we don't quit. Drinkin at Moe's, that's where it's at, like a power bomb. We hit hard, never flat. Fucking right, we're living the dream. Talking about wrestling, know it's a scream.
You know, I've always said here at Drinkinatmos, just because it says drinking at Moe's does not mean it has to be alcoholic. So I'm happy to say Drinking at Moe's is sponsored by Prince Nana Coffee. The exact same guy you see every week on Dynamite, on Collision. Yes, he has his own coffee, and it's freaking delicious. They don't even roast those beans until you've placed your order. And you might be telling me, hey, Big Mo, I'm more of a tea guy. They got you covered there too. Use the referral link in the description of this video. And let's get you dancing like Prince Nana with Prince Nana Coffee. All right, everybody, welcome. Drinking at Moe's. Big Mo here. Hopefully I don't sound like my allergies are kicking my ass too bad, but hey, we're here. You know the drill. YouTube, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good shit, because YouTube's algorithm continues to be a pain in the ass. We're most places you can find the audio podcast too. Today, back for another round. Shawn T, a Wrestling Revolver, and Forbidden Door Collectibles. How you doing?
Yes, sir. What's up, big dog? How are you?
Oh, like I said, allergies have been kicking my ass, and enjoying new fatherhood over here.
I love that so much. And yeah, I feel you on the allergy parts, man. Here I'm in Vegas and I still have allergies out here. It's been windy as shit, so the dust has been kicking up and
Oh,
everything's just been going insane. So yeah, I feel you, brother.
oh man, it seems like the only place I can remember not having these allergy issues are when I was stationed in San Diego. That's like the only place.
Yeah. Yeah. SoCal, they weren't too bad when I lived outside of LA. But it's definitely better than when I was in Iowa, for sure.
Oh god, yeah. No, here in the Midwest they kick my ass. But like clockwork every fucking year. But man, so for those that might not have tuned in to the last episode, what have you been up to since the last time? I know Revolver is consistently kicking out great shows. Always can't miss shows. It seems like every damn time.
Yeah, we're getting bigger.
Oh yeah, getting bigger. Whether you're in Dayton, whether you're in Des Moines, whether you're
Indianapolis, Dallas, Texas. I mean,
making
we're adding, according to Sammy, we're adding 8 to 10 new cities this year.
nice.
So we're looking at like Nashville and New Jersey, Kansas City.
Kansas City. Oh man, my in-laws live down there, just not too far away from Arrowhead. So another
Nice.
excuse for me to head down there.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been getting nuts. I mean, we're like you said, we're kicking out shows left and right. They're getting bigger and better. We're having lots of awesome people coming in on our shows. Our storylines have been kicking ass. Our social presence has been growing insane.
Oh yeah.
People are talking about us all over. Like I'm in airports at least once, twice a month. And I'll always wear a Revolver shirt when I'm in the airports, and I have people stop me all the time that know Revolver, know who we are, have watched us on Triller TV, and they're like, dude, you guys are phenomenal. You guys are like one of the best things out there right now.
Oh,
And I have to agree with them, not being biased at all, but
no.
man, we've been getting really, really good.
Oh yeah, consistently great stuff. And making the debut in Chicago here soon.
Yeah, this
That
weekend.
oh, that is this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. This will be out after that, so I'm looking forward to watching that one because I've got a few ties to Chicago. The friends of mine that I built at Warrior Wrestling, or now Pro Wrestling Ventures, I love those guys. Uh, Navy Boot Camp is just north of there. I've
Yeah.
got a little there, although
Great Lakes.
oh god, yeah, nope. I'm thankful I was there in the summer.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty excited. This weekend should be really fun. We got a big what is it, a 6-man tag
No,
match
yeah.
going, or no, excuse me, 10-man tag
Oh,
going on. Basically Revolver versus Chicago.
ooh.
Gringo Loco kind of turned his back on us and sided with Mustafa Ali, and they brought in some of their cronies and spray painted our ring in Des Moines, pissed us
Oh,
off,
yeah.
claiming that we went to Chicago without their permission. So we're gonna go up there and kick some Chicago ass.
that is going to be epic. Knowing, I mean, just the two people that you named, they might
Oh
piss people off, but hell, great talents in and of their own. So knowing what those two can pull off in a match just by themselves.
yeah, but they seem to forget we're the Wrestling Revolver. Our team consists of the Rascals, Jake Christ, Steve Macklin,
Ooh.
and I'm forgetting one more.
Oh hell, you did the names that you already named off.
I I
Man,
forgot who our last man was, but it's
oh,
it's gonna be pretty badass, and
oh yeah.
Chicago's in for an ass whooping for sure.
Oh yeah. Although we mentioned some of the storylines, I might not have been there in person at the last Revolver show, the Des Moines stop. I did see some stuff and brought up Macklin. He kind of got turned on there with Killer
Kelly.
Kelly going siding with the young goat there. Although, I mean, there is some like real life stuff with the two of them, which I mean, congratulations to the both of them. But yeah, that's gonna. I don't.
I mean, it definitely threw a wrench in Red's plans. Macklin was basically there with Dark Pledge by himself, and Kelly turns his back. Carlos, or excuse me, Alex Colon and Ricky Shane Page nowhere in sight. And he was just left there to the wolves. And you know what? Steve, being Steve, pulled up his bootstraps and was like, you know what? I don't need a team to whip ass. And Myron Reed and Killer Kelly just pissed off the wrong cat.
Oh yeah, no, you having a little bit of a common ground with Macklin, military background, and knowing you watch enough of Macklin's stuff, that he is not exactly the type of guy you want to be pissing off like that.
Not really.
I can already see him like zeroing in on the both of them. So
Yeah.
I, I'm
It's
lucky.
going to be pretty insane when they get their hands on each other, because I don't think Myron's quite been tested as much as an opponent of Steve Macklin's caliber. So he might have bitten off a little more than he could chew. But then again, he is on fire, and I mean that
that he
kid's
is.
that kid's doing amazing things so far, and he's deservedly our world champ. But he keeps doing what he's doing, and
Yeah.
he's going to be up in an uphill battle for sure.
I was actually there the night he won the title.
Yeah,
So that was
shocked the hell out of everybody.
oh yeah. I know I definitely wasn't expecting that. Especially, I mean, he had a match earlier that night that didn't really go his way.
Yeah,
So to see him completely turn around and end up winning the big one was something. But yeah, there's something different about a pissed off, motivated Macklin that I'm just thankful I'm on his good side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad we have him on Team Revolver because, man, any team that dude is a part of, they're just going to run roughshod. And I'm glad that dude's on our side because we're going to need it going into Chicago because it's a rough city and they got some rough boys there. But, we don't come with our hands behind our backs.
That you definitely won't be. All I know about me in Chicago is I'll go there for a visit, but I definitely don't plan on flying through O'Hare anymore.
Well, I got to do that. I got to do that on Friday.
Oh, God, that was a pain in the ass the last damn time I did that. Before I even left Omaha, gate changed twice. My gate in Chicago changed twice. Changed another 1 or 2 times in the air. Then when I get there, it changed again. And then when I get to that gate, it changes again. And then when we finally board the plane, we had to wait about 30, 45 minutes because the crew for the plane was on the other end of the airport.
All right. You better not be jinxing me, dude. I'm telling you now, if you jinx me, we're going to have words.
You know what? I'm hoping I don't. I mean, hopefully you have better luck than I did.
Hope so.
Oh, God. Yeah. No, I will fly. Like, if I'm going anywhere and it says connection to or through O'Hare, I'm like, I will pay extra not to fly through there. Nothing against Chicago.
Right.
When I'm actually in town, love it. But that airport is a pain in the ass.
I know. I think I'm most excited for genuine Chicago dogs.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a foodie, and I've been dreaming about these legit OG Chicago dogs for about a week now. And every day we get closer and closer, I start to smell them more and more. I swear to God.
Oh, you're making my mouth water, and I just ate dinner a little bit ago. Holy shit.
Yeah, man.
And
Chicago dog and pizza.
Oh yeah. And then
I'm going to be on a foodie adventure.
So, and I'm having to double check this, but me being a baseball fan, Chicago, another big baseball city, you guys being there, I know that my team, the Padres, are actually playing Chicago. The series starts, I'm wanting to say Friday. I'm forgetting if it's in Chicago, but damn it, my Padres are off to a good fucking start right now. 6-0. Freaking
if it's in Chicago, then everything's going to be chaos. And now I'm stressing. Traffic's going to be insane. Airport's going to be insane.
Oh yeah. Oh hell, I know when I left for Navy boot camp, we flew into O'Hare, but the chaos was actually from Omaha because it was during College World Series time. I had to go back to the MEPS hotel because they couldn't find me a flight out because of all the crap coming in.
That's nuts.
Yep.
No, we've just been traveling a lot, doing Revolver, of course. And over the past year, I've been kind of quietly on my own researching and talking to different people and looking at options, and finally put it all together, pulled the trigger, and launched Forbidden Door Collectibles here about a month and a half ago.
I was just about to ask you about that.
That's my new little fun project.
I bet, because I know a few people in collectible selling, and they all seem to have fun with it. What initially got you wanting to start that?
Basically, like, I've been looking for something for a while that I could do that would bring me the same kind of passion that I had when I did radio. Or when I DJ'd. Like, it engulfed me. It was like everything about me, like that was it. And since I've done Revolver, revolvers kind of replaced those things, and I'm having an absolute blast. I'm having a ball doing it. I love traveling. I love everything about it. I love making all these new friends. And through that, having conversations with people, found out that there was a need, and not just for a normal collectible memorabilia site. There's a million of those things.
Yeah.
Basically, I was finding that a lot of my friends would have old gear or extra gear or special gear that they wanted to get rid of, but they either didn't have the time to do it, they didn't know how to go about it, they didn't want to mess with it, and it just stockpiled. So I was like,
Yeah.
well, I'm happy to help you. And then the light bulb went off. And I'm like, you know what? I have the time, I have the ability, I have the know-how. I could make this a thing and start helping my friends. Well, that kind of grew and word kind of got out little by little. And then I, of course, started reaching out to other people. And one of the first people to jump on board was Brian Cage, who's a good buddy of mine. And he's like, yeah, dude, come over to my house. He goes, I got a ton of shit. And he started breaking out old stuff when he was in tag teams with LA Knight, managed by
Okay.
Paul Bear. I have some of that stuff. I have some of his old gear. I have a Border Patrol gimmick that he used to do. I have that full outfit. And I have the Sting tribute tights that he wore for Sting's last match.
Ooh.
That they took the Scorpion logo and put Cage into the logo. So it looks
Ooh.
absolutely rad. They're one of one. And I have those right now up for sale. And then I kind of got bit. I was like, you know what? This is cool. This is fun. And I started reaching out to other people that I've done shows with and people that I've met along the way at WrestleCons and stuff like that. So now I also have up there. Oh, well, before I do that, basically how this is I do consignment work for these people. So they have gear and stuff. I'll go ahead and sell that for them, and I don't take a commission. I don't take a commission. I don't take a percentage. They get 100% of whatever it is that they're asking, and they'll personalize the stuff. So I'm basically taking the monkey off their back, and I'm handling everything for them, the sales, the shipping, everything for them. All they got to do is sign the articles, however the people that buy it want it done, and that's that. And they're finding that this is well worth it to them because that's just one less thing they have to worry about. And at the same time, I get access to some pretty cool stuff. And me being a collector as well, you know, I also kind of have first dibs on things, but at the same time, I've got myself into this entrepreneur mindset where
Mm.
I'm not looking at keeping everything like I
Yeah.
would years ago. I'm like, you know what? I want to get these in the hands of real fans, real wrestling fans, not the same old rich dudes who buy up everything.
Yeah.
I wanted to give the opportunity for the regular fans to get stuff. And at the same time, I'm also getting some smaller things along the way. So not everybody can afford a $500 pair of tights from somebody, but you know, maybe 8x10s or kiss cards or something that was personally owned, smaller items, autographed figures, stuff like that, that they can get their hands on. And it's kind of the same thing for them, but it's in their budgets. But
Yeah.
I also take it upon myself to go out and I hunt for vintage toys. So I'm on the hunt for that stuff now as well. I find a lot around here in Las Vegas that I found little honey spots to go to. But I've also got a little something special up my sleeve that I'll be working on here in the next couple weeks, where I'm going to be getting a plethora of vintage items, signed items, um, pay-per-view chairs, you name it. Basically a storage unit full of things that I've been giving access to. So here within the next couple of weeks, you're going to see a lot of stuff blow up on that website, and especially as we're rolling into Mania Week here in the
Oh
next
yeah.
couple of weeks. I've got several people that are bringing gear in for me to take care of. and sell for them and do some shit over at WrestleCon. So
Yeah.
yeah, dude, it's
Oh,
getting pretty cool. It's getting pretty fun, and I'm digging it. And the stuff that I have up there now is pretty cool.
yeah. I was gonna say, it definitely sounds very awesome, very interesting, and with everything coming to Vegas for WrestleMania weekend, it's not like it used to be where it was like Mania and that was it. There's
Oh,
Mania, and then there's all that stuff coming in for WrestleCons and different, you know, independent events. That is going to be one hell of a time to get to selling that stuff, and it's it's also cool what you mentioned about you not taking a commission and they getting 100%, because I've seen other sites where it's like, yeah, they might sell stuff for other people, but it's like they're kind of taking their cut of it.
yeah. I don't believe in that. Um, these wrestlers and stuff have paid pretty good money for their gear,
Yeah,
and rightfully so. They deserve what they want out of it. They shouldn't
yeah.
have to take a cut to have somebody else sell their stuff for them.
No, yeah.
I mean, I'm not doing it 100% for free, but they're getting what they asked for. They don't have to give me a low ball offer just so I can make tons of money on top. I'm not. So most of the stuff I'm not making much money on
Yeah.
because I do it as a favor to them. I'd rather develop a relationship with them and help them out with a need that they have
All
rather
right.
than screw them over and stuff like that. So that's just kind of my thing. And they've been
All
finding the
right.
value in it. And people that I never would have thought that I'd be working with, I am working with now, like Layla L, former WWE diva.
All right.
She's got some wrestling gear still that she was wanting to unload, and I have those up on my site right now. I have like probably 4 outfits of hers up there now, including one from the UK that she wore. That's the Union Jack
Okay.
outfit. That's
Yeah.
pretty badass.
Ah.
She's got that up there. SoCal Val from Old School TNA. She's got some cool stuff up there. Of course, Brian Cage. We've got Casey Lennox, independent star. She's got some photo stuff, photo shoot worn items up there. And then I'm going to be getting some stuff from Caden Carter from NXT.
Okay.
I got some stuff from her coming here very, very soon. And I got more on the way, like I said, and like it's just getting bigger and better. And
Okay.
I'm not holding it just to wrestling stuff. Like I'm an old school music guy and
Yeah.
I'm a horror fan. So you're gonna start to see maybe some pop culture stuff in there, some
Okay.
autographs from pop culture
Oh,
movie items that I'll be getting some stuff in, even horror items. I got friends in the horror business that I'm going to start bringing some stuff in for those categories. But lately, I've just been kind of focused on the wrestling thing just because it was the
yeah.
low hanging fruit and it was easily accessible immediately.
Yeah.
But being as I'm what a little over a month into this thing, I've got a pretty good chunk up there right now, like an autographed Saved by the Bell script that's signed
No
by
kidding.
Screech.
Oh
Uh,
wow. That's some with that guy no longer being
yeah,
with us. That's
I
some.
I just added a Metal Hammer magazine autographed by Rob Halford up
Ooh.
there. Yeah, I've just been grabbing everything. Some of the stuff I've pulled out of my own collection that I've decided it's time for it to find a new home, so that I can make room for new stuff. But
Okay.
like I said, it's not just wrestling, but that is the bulk of it up there right now. But there are some other things up there now that's pretty cool, and I'm pretty excited for the next few weeks of the stuff that's going to be coming in.
Oh yeah, and I mean, you already had, I remember, quite the nice collection there. The last time I talked to you, I remember seeing some of that stuff. I'm like, geez, I thought I was doing okay, but then I'm seeing some of that. I'm like, God dang, all right.
Yeah, I completely dismantled my man cave when I started this company, to redo it so that I could have like part of it be for business and part of it be for pleasure. So my man cave is basically 75% taken down, that I haven't quite figured out how I want to redo it. But then I'm doing organization where I'll have all the items that are up for sale all organized out in here so that I keep an eye on things, keep it organized.
Yeah.
But the man cave itself is going to look pretty cool once I get all this stuff figured out how I want to put it back up and redisplay it. And
Yeah.
plus the items that is coming in on top of that, man cave's gonna look pretty badass, bro. Not gonna lie.
Hell, I look forward to hopefully seeing that. I know me, I mean, yeah, I got the stuff behind me here, but like there's stuff that, you know, I'm looking forward to getting displayed as soon as possible. Like plenty of the signed Revolver event posters that I've been to.
Yeah.
I've got signed ring worn Alex Cologne kick pads that you can see the scratches from the friggin' glass that he's been going into and stuff.
Yeah.
That
I've got an Elijah ring worn shirt from Revolver. I've got pieces of guitar that he smashed over people's heads. I got those up there. I've got a shirt that Matt Cardona got ripped off him and thrown at me while I was ringside doing a show here in Vegas. Uh, Yeah, I mean it's pretty fun because like random things will pop up and I'll be
yeah,
like, hey, you know, that's gonna be kind of cool. Because before I would just grab stuff up like, oh, it's gonna look great in the man cave. Now I'm like, shit, that's gonna look great on the website. And
yeah,
and 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 like I said, the more that I keep reaching out to people and talking to others, they're digging what I'm doing, which I love. And the fact that I'm not just some local yokel asshole that's gonna rip them
yeah.
off. Like I've got all the resources they could possibly want, all the referrals they could possibly want, so they know I'm in the business. They know who I am. They know they can trust me, which is a really big deal in this business.
Oh yeah,
And I don't have to do a lot of the fluff. I don't have to do a lot of the overhead crap that some of these people do, because I want to keep the prices um, relatively affordable. Because, like I said,
yeah.
it's important to me that I want to get stuff in the hands of the regular wrestling fans.
Mm,
I don't want to just go to the top elite guys with the big money bags that take up everything. That to me is not appealing.
yeah,
Because, like I said, I'm a collector too, and I don't have deep pockets. So I try to find things that are affordable, but at the same time
yeah,
cool. But at the same time, I also have these big ring worn gears, stuff that's been on
yeah,
WWE TV or pay per views, stuff like
yeah.
that. So
Oh yeah,
it's
and there is
it's
a,
fun, bro.
oh, I imagine, and there is a pretty good market out there for that sort of stuff. And then, I mean, when you add in, you know, music and other pop culture, you know, horror items, there's a lot of a market out there for people that, you know, want to put together something for a man cave or whatever the hell it might
Yeah.
be. You
I
know,
still have friends in the music industry um that I plan on reaching out to. I've got some ideas of some cool things to do that are kind of outside the box, that should be kind of fun. But also just kind of reaching out to them and because you don't see a lot of like rock star stuff for sale,
yeah, yeah,
unlike wrestlers. So I have access to these people. They're friends of mine, and you know, it's going to be easier for me to reach out and be like, hey, why don't you dig in the closet? Let's find some old stuff that we can bring out, or let's see what you got that maybe their wives want gone. They got too much shit in the house. Let's get it gone.
oh yeah,
Let's have some fun with it. Who knows, man? I'm not opposed to instruments. I'm not opposed to anything. I'm 100% down for anything and everything. You know, if it can get here and I can ship it, rock and roll, bro. Let's do it.
oh yeah. And I was wanting to also say outside of which I'm happy for you and you're finding this which you definitely got a passion for. But I did also want to mention that I have seen you places outside of Revolver. Like recently, I know I saw you at the Benefit for Bay. That
Yeah,
big
Yeah,
That was
FSW put together a huge benefit for Chris Bay. Of course, that's where Chris Bay did his training, uh, carrying Cross, Killer Cross,
mm,
whatever you want to call him, one of his best friends, and he basically started this thing, and it grew and grew. They were just going to do the show at the FSW school, and they had so many people wanting tickets that it sold out before tickets ever went on sale. So
yeah.
they knew automatically they were going to have to find a bigger venue. Then they had to start turning away superstars that wanted to be a part of the show because it just got absolutely huge. I mean, Rhino, we had Hammerstone, we had Karrion Cross, we had Scarlett Bordeaux, um, we had John Morrison. The list goes on and on. I mean, it was
Oh
a
yeah.
superstar crowd. Rob Van Dam and his wife Katie Forbes cruised
Huh.
over, caused a little chaos, had some fun. But it was probably the most meaningful show I've ever done. Just the camaraderie and the brotherhood and the love that was felt in that building, not
Oh yeah.
just from the boys in the back, but from the crowd and the fans
Oh,
themselves, was
oh yeah.
absolutely insane.
Oh yeah.
Uh, they were loud like a revolver crowd, but they were loud for a different reason. They were loud because they wanted to make this show electric for Chris. And at the end of the show, Chris came out and the place blew the roof off.
Oh man.
It was the
That
first
gives
time
me
people got to see him
goosebumps.
firsthand. Yeah, I same dude. Still, just talking about it, man, it was emotional as hell. Chris, a good friend of mine, and to see how far he's come in just a
Oh,
short amount of time is nothing short of a miracle.
oh,
This
for sure.
dude has had the biggest, baddest support group you could ever imagine behind him.
Hmm.
Uh, he's pushing, he's fighting every day. He sets a bar for himself at the end of every day, and then he wants to go above that bar the next day. That's how he's gotten to where he is so far, so fast.
No.
And just in 2 weeks, between times that I saw him, he had gotten so much better. Like he
Oh
still
yeah.
has a long ways to go, but man, they gave that dude a 10 to 25% chance to ever walk again,
Yeah.
and he did it in less than 4 months.
That is nuts when you think about it. You know, when you hear what happened, and then for him to bounce back as quickly as he has. I've not had a bad interaction with him.
No,
But man, to see the love not only from the locker room that night, but the crowd, and yeah, that reaction when he came walking out there. Oh, I I kid you not, I'm getting goosebumps just
yeah,
thinking
dude.
about it right now.
Take that and multiply it by 10. That's how it felt inside that building
I
when
bet.
Karrion Cross introduced. Well, this thing, Karrion came out, but him and I was like, let's do something special. Announce me as Killer Cross. So he came out as Killer Cross, which to me was badass. He's one of
Yeah.
my favorite wrestlers. But after that match, for him to introduce Chris and for Chris to walk out on that stage unassisted was absolutely insane. That entire place went electric, louder than I've heard anything in my life. And it gave Chris the first chance to be in front of the fans that love him, as well as his friends who love him too,
Oh yeah.
and to absolutely be engulfed in everything that was that night. It was emotional for everybody. I mean, there wasn't a dry eye in that place. It was
I
so
bet.
moving.
I bet. Yeah. I like I said, it was definitely one of those like I still remember the first time I saw the footage of that. I'm like, oh man, that is something special.
It really truly was, and it was me and Melissa Santos that co-hosted
Mm.
the event, which was pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Oh yeah.
Melissa and I have a good time together every time we hang out. It's pretty fun. But yeah, it was a stacked roster from front to back, and it was pretty badass. But um, yeah, between that, it kind of opened up the doors for a few more opportunities that's coming up here WrestleMania week. I'm doing a WWE ID tournament show over at FSW.
Yeah, they're a part of the tournament for the WWE ID titles. They're
Yeah,
part of
I'm I'm announcing that show here in Vegas,
my.
and then the next night I get to do Juggalo Championship Wrestling with Violent J at
I
the
was gonna
Nerd
bring that up.
at frickin' midnight, bro.
Dude.
A midnight show. I
Oh
haven't
man,
done a midnight show in 8 years, and that was again WrestleMania week. It was midnight after Mania, Revolver's first year in business, and we did a midnight after Mania show that actually didn't start until like 2:30 in the morning, and we went until about 5:30 in the morning. And this one here uh, is a free show down on Fremont at Neonopolis, where the Nerd is. And free show starts at midnight, and then after the show is a post concert with Violent J.
that is gonna be something.
Yeah.
I know.
So basically,
Oh,
it'll be wrestling show, Violent J show, breakfast.
sounds like a combination. And I know I've been lucky enough to, you know, talk with a handful of juggalos. You know, Budge from Matt Tremont's promotion. I know they're taking a little bit of a hiatus. He's moving down to Tennessee. I mean, that's already out there, so I don't got to worry about spoiler alert. But, you know, oh God, I still remember talking with Alex Stretch. That guy's a damn madman. Like, I remember when I talked to him and like I was getting towards asking him about some of his inspirations, and like I could already in my head already tell. But when he was started talking about Sabu, I'm like, I knew it just from watching you. I knew that was one of them. And then, oh God, I am losing track. But there's been others that I've had on, and there's something special about the Juggalo crowd.
You can say that.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
it's gonna be cool because I'll have some familiar folks on the show. My buddy Caleb Conley, he's gonna be on the show. He was their former world champ, which I'm stoked. I always have a good time when Caleb's around. Willie Mack's on the show.
oh Willie Mack.
Uh,
Gotta love Willie Mack.
Danny Moe and Facades on the show, and a guy that I'm really excited to meet finally in person, Ricky Morton from the Rock and Roll Express.
Oh man, I've heard loads of good stories of people when they get to meet him. He's a fun
Yeah,
time.
I've talked to him online several times. Uh, cool cat. I'm super stoked that he's going to be there. Already let him know that I was an announced show, so he's looking forward to that as well. And I'm interested to see what could become of that because he, growing up, the Rock and Roll Express was one of my favorite tag teams by far.
Oh yeah.
Them and the Legion of Doom, Road Warriors, of course.
Oh god, yeah, no, definitely back in the golden days of tag team wrestling, man.
Absolutely. So yeah, so things are getting pretty interested in the world of Shawn T, and it's like momentum is just now kicking in, and now I'm taking my passion and putting it to work,
That you
and
are.
at the same time I get to have fun doing what I'm doing, and it extends instead of just 1 day shows. Now I get to do something with this every single day, and man, it's a blast. I absolutely love it.
That man, I am that makes me happy hearing about that. You know, I love it when people I know are starting to, you know, really catch some steam with, you know, everything you're doing from Revolver to, you know, things with FSW to uh, Jungle Championship Wrestling to Forbidden Door Collectibles. Man, when I heard, you know, just when I first heard you talking about Forbidden Door Collectibles, I'm like, you could just get that sense that it's like, okay, he's found something he's passionate. Like, I mean, you're passionate about, wrestling and stuff, obviously, but you found
I'm
another
a collector.
thing.
I've been a collector my whole life.
Oh yeah.
I love collecting. I understand collectors. I get it. And I've never limited myself to what I collected. Over the years, I have kind of changed what I collected uh, and thinned out my collections to keep more of the things that either had a personal connection or I had a good story with it. The rest of the stuff that was kind of like, I kind of let that stuff go because all I'm doing is creating a new space for something that I'm going to get even cooler. Because, like I said, these opportunities are popping up, new stories are coming into play, and new stuff is coming in. And as a collector, it makes me excited, but as the owner of a collectible memorabilia website, it also makes me excited because I'm getting excited for the people I haven't met yet. I'm getting excited for the people that are going to have the opportunity to buy the things that I've acquired for them.
Oh yeah.
And when I get a chance to put a smile on somebody's face or I get a chance to make somebody happy, that means the world to me. That's why I
Oh
love announcing because I love to make people have a good time. If I can make people forget their problems for a day and just act like a freaking goofball, have fun, scream, yell, whatever it
oh
is,
yeah.
but forget about all life's problems and just live in the moment and have fun, that means the world to me.
Oh
That is why I do what I do, and I've done it for so long. And now that I get to add something new to it, that I can bring a new kind of happiness to somebody, it makes my brain just go a million miles an hour because I'm like, it's like I'm a junkie. I want more. I want more. I want more.
yeah.
I want to
Oh yeah.
find more ways to make people happy. I want to find more ways to put a smile on somebody's face. So it's uncharted territories, and I'm having a blast.
Oh yeah. No, that is awesome. I know you do a great job with what you're doing. I know, and a little personal story for you here. You've known about some of the stuff with why I got this tattoo on my forearm here. And coincidentally, it happened at the same show that I talked with Jake Christad after the show. It was Revolver was one of the first shows that I went to after everything happened.
Yeah.
And, you know, for a while, I was just like, I hunker down in my house.
Yeah.
Didn't want to do jack shit. But then I'm like, yeah, let's go. And yeah, you and the everybody on the roster, yeah, I for at least that little bit that I was there, I got to forget about it all for a little bit. Something
That's
I'll
what
always be grateful for.
that's what it's all about, giving people that outlet to be able to do that because people they don't have those options a lot of times. Some people don't have that option at all. So giving people that option because you and I have talked a lot. Like you said, you and I have talked about stuff that you've had going on. I know a lot. Stuff about like when my dad passed. Like I went to a super bad depression, and the only thing that I had was Revolver, uh, and that was my opportunity to get out of my own head and put my energy into something different. And seeing people smile and have a good time made me forget about my problems for a while and made me happy, made me have fun, made me want to do it more. But then on top of that, uh, the wrestling world is a huge family. So to have my wrestling family embrace me and and tell me how sorry they were to hear about my dad's passing and stuff, they were there for me. Chris Bay was one of the few people that reached out to me several times just by phone to say, "Hey, was thinking about you. How you doing?" I couldn't wait to repay that to him and do this benefit and do the things that I do for Chris. And like I've told him, I said, we don't live that far from each other. If you need anything,
Yeah.
let me know. I'm happy to do it. We're a big family, and when we're at the shows, the fans are our family too. And I don't want to do anything that's going to disappoint them. I don't want to do anything that's going to make them have a bad time. And if I can make them feel something and have a good time, I did my job and I made my family proud.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely say you do a great job at that. And there is that little something special about and pro wrestling in general, but a live independent wrestling show where you get to oh wow,
Gesundheit.
thank you, but where you get to feel a little more a part of the show, where you
Mhm.
get that interaction and you get to have those. There's nothing like it to that'll get you away from it all.
Nope. I haven't found anything.
I,
You know
I
that energizes me so much when I can make people scream and cheer loud and be loud. It electrifies me like no other. It gives me a feeling that's indescribable. And so I feed off the crowd as much as they feed off of me. And together, I mean, we're a powerhouse. That's why the Revolver shows are huge. It's why we have an insane roster. We put on amazing shows. Sammy's a great booker,
oh yeah,
and I go up there and do my part. And you put all those puzzle pieces together, and there's not a lot that can touch us, man. I'm not gonna
oh
lie.
oh
Uh,
yeah.
I went to AEW, and it wasn't the same. I To me, I have more fun at Revolver. Not saying that I didn't have fun at AEW, because I absolutely did.
Oh yeah, same.
But
I can
it's
say the same.
different. Revolver to me is like old school wrestling. It's
Yeah.
like the old school days when I was a kid. And I want to bring that excitement to the people nowadays. And I put 110% of every ounce of my being into the show, because I don't want to let up. I want to put that pedal to the metal, because I want people to lose their voice. I want people to go home and have to take 2 hours to calm down. You
Oh yeah.
know, that's what I want. I want people to have an absolute blast, and
Mhm.
anything that I can do to make that happen, I'm 100% down, bro.
Oh man. Yeah. Revolver is definitely one of those that you need a little bit of time to calm down from, because I can speak from personal experience. You get so damn amped up, screaming your head off, that like me, I'm kind of thankful that yeah, I can go by myself and I can spend the night in town. But when I have somebody that can drive with me and then make the drive back in one night, I have that drive back home to kind of wind down, because, yeah, afterwards, if I were to stay in town, I'm gonna be up for a little bit. Yeah.
That's how you know. That's how you know that you're leaving an impression. When people leave and they can't stop talking about it, that's how you know you're doing something right.
Oh, for sure.
And and me, I'm traveling all over the country
Yeah.
several times a year. And what was it? When I came back for the Iowa show, I was in 4 airports in 4 days, and I had somebody approach me at every single airport.
That is amazing, and it's fucking awesome, man. I love it. Love it,
So
man.
the word's out, man. I mean, we're growing faster than we ever thought imaginable. And just the knowing that we're going to be breaking into 8 to 10 new markets this year, on top of our already Iowa, Texas, Ohio, Chicago, Indianapolis. We're adding more stuff, dude. It makes me more excited, because then it makes me like kind of puff up like peacock, like, all right, now I got to go and blow these people's heads off. Now I got to go up there and make these people know who the hell we are. I got to make these people know who the hell Shawn T is. And what do I got to do to do that? Be me. And then I go out there and just have a lot of fun with it. And Wherever the wind blows, that's where it's going. Whatever it takes, that's what we're going to do. And we don't let up for nobody or nothing.
Oh, yep. You guys have definitely been a staple, and it's just great seeing it. Like, I remember my first ever revolver show was actually the night of my bachelor party. And we weren't even planning on going. Like, we were my best man who has helped out backstage, at least at the Des Moines stops, Brandon Juarez. He my best man, and he looks at me as we're at lunch, and he's like, "You want to go to Des Moines for Revolver?" And I was just like, okay." Man, that night was something. And then literally every Revolver show that I've been to since is like, there's some promotions out there that, yeah, they put on a lot of great shows, but Revolver just seems to be able to do that on a very consistent basis that you don't see too many off shows.
No. And that's kind of our whole point is, we're not going to be like the ones who are going to sit there and do 20 shows a month. We're independent. We don't need to do that many shows. But at the same time, when you do that, in my opinion, it decreases the level of wow factor. You're taking away the opportunity for people to build up the excitement to see you again. So we're doing the right amount of shows, and the fact that we're sprinkling them around, but at the same time, we're carrying our storylines with us. And, we kind of open the quote unquote forbidden door as well, and allow other shows to come in, and we do storylines together. We highlight somebody from another show and wind up doing a cross promotion show, stuff like that. So we don't limit ourselves to just doing Revolver stuff. We want to do Revolver stuff plus. So there's always something else we're looking to do, somewhere else we're looking to go. And as of now, like, nothing's off limits. I mean, hell, we've brought AEW storylines into our Revolver shows. We've brought TNA storylines into our Revolver shows. And to me, that speaks volumes that to us that they would allow that to happen on our ground. It speaks volumes that, we are respected. We are the big dogs in our field. And for them to trust us and put that into our hands, I love it. And it adds more to my show, and it makes me want to do even more. So just seeing how fast we're growing and what we're doing, it makes me proud, and it makes me excited, because it's not like anything else where you've been doing it so long, you're just like, yeah, do this again. No way, dude. I get excited for a show like it's the first show all over again.
That is awesome. And you before we wind down, you actually just reminded me of one of those storylines where I believe it was Swerve and Keith Lee were AEW tag champs at the time. I was at the Revolver show where they faced Matthew Palmer, and I'm wanting to say Rich Swann, but I might make mistakes. Okay, good. I was wanting to make sure. And one of the, oh God, it still sticks in my head to this time, where Matthew Palmer gets the over double hand wham by Keith Lee, and he just, and then
he did
over the R.I.P. Matthew Palmer on the screen.
We've killed Palmer so many times. That dude is like a cockroach. He just keeps coming back.
Oh man, yeah.
I think we've killed him 4 times, 5 times now.
Yeah. And now with the attitude he's had since turning on Rich Swann and everything,
just a filthy bastard now.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that you can't sleep on. Palmer is probably one of the best indie wrestlers, or not even indie wrestler. He's probably one of the best non-signed wrestlers I've ever seen.
Oh
That
yeah.
dude is phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
And not to mention he's got a pretty badass partner himself in Athena.
Ugh. Oh
And
yeah.
uh for that dude seeing what he's capable of and for him to flip the script and become this asshole now again, man, he's gonna run roughshod and Revolver has to be on our toes because that dude is dangerous.
Oh man, that's another dude like we mentioned with Macklin. When you getting pissed off and motivated, whole nother animal. Palmer, the same damn thing. You get him pissed off and motivated, oh, dangerous.
He can turn into an evil bastard with the drop of a dime, and he's proved it time and time again. And man, we just saw it here at the last Revolver show in Des Moines. He choked the hell out of Rich Swan, and I saw Rich the next day, and he was still feeling the effects. And they're going to be doing Cage of Horrors when we come back to Des Moines.
Oh, Cage of
Palmer and
Horrors, buddy.
Swan in the Cage of Horrors,
Oh,
and it's going to get gnarly. I
oh,
promise you that. Rich is not playing games.
oh man. Just think, man, Cage of Horrors, like there, there's a few promotions out there that like a favorite, a favorite. Wow.
Spit it out.
Wow. But a favorite show on the calendar for promotions. I know there's one in Omaha that sadly I had to miss, but Cage of Horrors for Revolver, that's one of those damn shows. Like I was at the last one where it was all three of the former second gear crew in the damn match. That was nuts. Those two, Swan and Palmer, now this time, okay, you're gonna have to remind me because I don't know if I've caught the announcement for that one. Show date for that one.
I want to say that's June something. I don't remember offhand. I
I'm
get
gonna
my
have to,
dates all messed up,
it happens.
and I'm getting older, so I got to put everything on a calendar.
It happens. It definitely
But
happens. I'm gonna have
yeah,
to
you're
keep my
talking
eye.
about the last Cage of Horrors. I have a piece of the mat from that Cage of Horrors that's still covered in blood, that's signed by everybody that was in the match, Red and SGC. And it's gnarly. I haven't decided if I'm going to put it on the website yet or not, or if I'm going to keep that in the man cave. I haven't
That would
decided
be
yet.
some. That would be something. If I had my hands on that, I might be keeping that one.
Yeah, but yeah, Cage of Horrors is one of our biggest shows of the year, and it's proven time and time again that it's one of our most violent shows of the year. Now, given we don't do a lot of the deathmatch crap that some of the other shows do, um, ours are more old school minded,
Yeah.
weapons, barbed wire, chairs, tables,
Yeah.
doors. I don't like the light tube stuff. But Cage of Horrors just gets gnarly, and it gets gnarly in a fast hurry. And it's one of those shows that you expect the unexpected, and even then you're surprised.
Oh yeah. Hell, I remember the one with the second gear crew in there. Fire was used in 2 separate times.
Yeah, man.
It was nuts. But yeah.
Yeah, you don't see the fire tables very often.
No, you don't. You don't. Although I will admit that the first ever death match that I got to witness in person was actually at a Revolver show, Jake Thrift versus Joel Bateman.
Oh yeah.
The ending to that one was nuts as well. Fire involved in that too. But
Yeah.
Yeah, man, good.
We have fun, bro.
that we do. That we do. Well, that is about all I got. I want to thank you again for taking the time to talk to me tonight.
Of course, dude.
Absolute pleasure as always. Wish you well. WrestleMania week, Revolver, and Forbidden Door Collectibles. Can't forget about that. But where can people find you social media wise so they don't already have their eyes on you and where you're going to be at for all of that? And Forbidden Door Collectibles, where can they find you?
Yep. For Forbidden Door, we're on Instagram and Facebook. You just look up Forbidden Door Collectibles, we have our website, of course, www.forbiddendoorcollectibles.com. And then, of course, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Shawn T, and I'll be up there. And either way, you're going to find me one way or the other. But yeah, Forbidden Door Collectibles, Facebook, Instagram, and our website, forbiddendoorcollectibles.com. Get over there, buy some stuff. And if you're looking for something, let me know. If you have something that you're looking to get rid of, let me know that too. Shoot me an inbox.
Yes. Get in touch with my man for that. Like I said, that is about all I have.
Thanks, brother.
Absolute pleasure as always. And you're welcome back anytime.
Thanks, dude. Have fun, Mo.
Will do. No, my issue with this fucking but no. I see I hit the wrong damn button.